So I'm sitting here with Thomas Burney. Thomas Burney is an excellent flipper, wealth of knowledge, general contractor, realtor extraordinaire, friend of mine, Nuggets fan, father, husband, the whole nine. So, anyways, what I really want to do is first, Thomas, would you mind sharing who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff?
Hello. Um, I got started in construction in 2004, building custom homes in the Vail Valley. So I come from a construction background. Got into real estate in 2016 after I moved to Denver. And I have flipped some properties before while up in Vail for investors who were doing townhouses and duplexes. And then I flipped a couple of single families for an investor here after I got to town. Then had some friends and family who believed in me. We were able to start putting deals together in about 2016, 2017, and 40 plus houses later, I am still a glutton for punishment.
Dude, that is so cool. Another thing I think is funny is our MLS ID numbers are one number off. So we got licensed apparently
same day, right?
probably the same day. It would almost have to be.
Weird coincidence.
Which I think, yeah, that's hilarious. So anyways, 2777 Kendall, beautiful property. I mean, secret entrances. This seemed like a really fun flip. How did you find this specific house?
This one was on the MLS for a long time and didn't sell. And then a wholesaler, while it was no longer on market, a wholesaler got it under contract and sent it out. And, just bought it from a wholesaler.
Very nice. Very cool, man. When you first walked in this house, I've seen some of the before photos. What was your first impression?
I just thought it was a really neat house, like specifically this octagon, the Victorian characteristics on the outside. And it was built in the late 90s. So it had pretty good bones, like very nice open spaces, large rooms, high ceilings. Some good characteristics for sure.
Nice. It's kind of one of those projects where you get a focus on doing cool shit compared to asbestos remediation or what is this old plumbing and aluminum wiring and all that kind of crap, right?
We found some of that,
Oh, did you?
a leaky pipe here, some weird wiring there, like nothing really that was a big deal, but no asbestos, no mold to contend with.
Nice. Very cool, man. So I guess that might be some of yours, but what are some of the biggest surprises? I know that when we do projects, stuff always happens. You just kind of count on it with the budget contingency. What did you find in this house when you started doing demo?
I mentioned like the plumbing and electrical. You're gonna always find something, and we didn't really find anything that was too crazy. The big negative surprise was my own fault, and it's just the windows, white vinyl windows. I kind of overlooked it. I would say it needed a few new ones, but the more time I spent here and realized how nice we were going to make the house, those older windows are 27 years old. The vinyl kind of yellows a little bit. It warps a little bit. It gets brittle. We're making such a nice house that I decided to redo 36 windows.
Holy crap.
That was a budget overage.
Oh my gosh.
Your camera fell.
Oh, lovely. Okay, nice. Sorry, we had technical difficulty. Camera decided to flip around on us. But anyways, where were we? Continue.
I don't know. Where were we? You got the question sheet.
So you put in 36 new windows. Where did you finish budget-wise? I mean, I'm not going to ask you what your total budget was, but did you finished over your budget, I would imagine?
Yeah, way over. I mean, the slopes get slippery on this, and everything that you don't do looks stupid next to what you did do.
It does.
And, we just kind of up the finish level progressively. I overspent on this one. I did not stay disciplined. I kind of fell in love with the house itself. I really like this building.
I mean, it is so cool. It is so freaking cool. Well, awesome. So you purchased this property and then flipped it and then got it on market. How long was it from the date you purchased it to the day you got it on market?
I got it mid-June. I think I was on vacation for a couple days. So I think we really got started like June 20th or so.
Okay.
And we had it on market, I think October 1st or 2nd. So
September. Oh my
that's
gosh.
just a little over 3 months, which is it's a longer time than you want to see for, a 2,500 foot ranch house. But given the size of everything and how much work there was, I think we did okay.
I think you did great. That's really quick. And this time of year, it's crucial to make sure you're that efficient. If you would have taken another month, you're probably holding this property until January or February of next year. So
We might be
kudos to you.
doing that anyway.
Touche. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a cool market right now.
It really is, man. So what is your favorite feature in this house? Right. After touring it, I was kind of shocked at all the cool features. So I might change my question to a few features because I don't know if I could just pick one myself.
Yeah, this house maybe gets a top 5 list. I really enjoy, like, we're sitting in it right now, just, some angles that aren't 90 degrees.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. The living room ceiling is just super high. It's the full vault, 2 levels, and that gave us space to put in like this really large scale chandelier. And we just don't have enough space to do fixtures on that kind of scale. And it was nice to be able to kind of get one that spreads out. Another thing I like is we had like kind of a weird crawl space entrance in the basement, and it seemed like a good place to do a bookshelf door. So I watched a couple YouTube videos, found some hardware on Amazon, gave it to Mark and Brian, two of my carpenters, and they built a pretty fun little access door. So you got to pull that bookshelf open to get into the crawl space. That's super neat. Something I've always wanted to do.
That is so cool, man. I saw a sign downstairs for a second entrance, and I couldn't even find it. I was going around for like 5 minutes. Where's that one at?
And that one's behind a mirror hanging on the wall. That's a second crawl space under the laundry room.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I wasn't pulling crap off the wall, so that's probably why.
Yeah, you don't. No need. It's just a little crawl space, but it's kind of fun to have some little Easter eggs for the people.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
The fireplace in the living room actually came out great too. We had a little back and forth with my designer there. Her idea was way different than mine, and I went with hers and just love how it came out. She picked a blue recycled glass tile and ran it all the way to the ceiling, and it just like you touch it and that's just a nice smooth texture. It's pretty neat. I like how it came out.
I mean, that was probably expensive tile to be glass like that. It looks so nice.
I mentioned a slippery slope with some overages. That was one of them.
Yeah. All right. Well, very nice. So house is amazing. You've done a lot of cool things. I bought a cheap gimbal, guys, and it keeps crashing the camera over there. So I don't know. But anyways, you've been flipping. What year did you start?
I did my first one was actually a pop top in 2015 and 16, but really got going like jumped in with both feet in 2018.
Okay, so you saw that whole rise, just meteoric rise in real estate to where you could do average flips, or I mean, you kind of gave flippers a bad name for a bit there, in some instances, and then now it's completely different market. So, what are some of the biggest differences that you've noticed in how you have to approach your business during COVID? Why the layout changed, I apologize for technical difficulties. I need to fire my technical director, I guess, which is myself.
Yeah, who's that guy?
I don't know. Screw that guy, dude.
Get him out of here.
So you've been flipping for a long time. You started, I know it was 2015, 2016. You did your first pop top, really jumped in 2018. So you've seen all the markets. You've seen the meteoric rise. You saw COVID, and now you're flipping now and still flipping. So kudos to you. But what are some of the biggest differences and changes in how you have to run your business now compared to COVID years?
there's certainly been some adjustments, and I mean, the interest rate story has been beaten to death. So let's not talk about that. But the biggest change I'm seeing right now is buyer motivation. Through those COVID years, 20, 21, 22, especially 21, rents were just really going up fast, and interest rates were super low. So those renters were really motivated to fix their housing costs, to get in now. And I think that really pulled some of this, like the 23, 24, 25 buyers, I think it pulled them forward. And they were really motivated by those rents that were going up 25% per year, you know.
Yeah.
Fast forward to today, and rates are higher, insurance has gone up a lot, and those same buyers are looking at the cost to buy an entry level home versus the cost to rent it. And it might cost 25% more to own that house per month than to rent. And you know, they're continuing to rent, which means there aren't as many buyers. There's not that upward price pressure. Then people aren't getting the FOMO on like, oh, they don't think they're going to make 50 grand owning that house the first year. And I think they just don't feel that pressure to buy, and they think that they might get a better deal next year. And you know what? They might be right.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's huge. I've seen a lot of the cheaper price flips. I've seen a lot of investors lose money, right? You know, a lot of times you'll run those deals to where, you know, you're selling the home for 500,000, which in Denver is nothing. But you do one price drop, you're at 475. The offer you get's at 460, and they want $20,000 of seller concessions. And before you know it, you're at 440, and you had 40 grand of profit expected, and you lose money really fast. Have you kind of witnessed the same thing compared to? I've noticed you get over the $1 million in some instances, and those flips are selling a lot better because you're dealing with somebody that's not a first time home buyer. Potentially, they're just purchasing cash.
I think that kind of higher level home buyer is not maybe as rate sensitive. They have the good job, they have the savings, they have the equity from the run up in value of their previous home. They're not borrowing 95%. Those guys aren't coming with 5% down.
Yeah,
I think they're just not as rate sensitive.
Yeah, fully agree, man. Well, awesome. Another question for you, sir. So, what is the biggest lesson you have learned while flipping homes? And kind of what I mean by that is obviously a pain point, something that really hurt you a little bit, and you know you had to learn a tough, valuable lesson to overcome.
There's so many I could list here, but I mean, let's pick a really easy one: location. Right? That's the famous 3 words of real estate: location, location, location. We're filming this right now in a gorgeous house that hasn't sold. We're priced in line with half duplexes nearby. Well, this is a 3,750 square foot single family home that's totally redone. This is a very nice property, but it's straight across the street from, I don't know, like a 200 unit apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a big location challenge that we're having trouble overcoming at the moment. You can fix a weird layout. You can fix a dated kitchen. You can fix a broken foundation, but you can't fix the address.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, that's tough. You know, with this house, you have so much uniqueness, I guess, on both sides, right? You can only buy this house to get some of the awesome unique features, but that's like the only negative that I've noticed of this house is that. So I'm hoping that it doesn't really affect the sales price. How long have you been on market?
3 weeks, not that long.
Oh yeah, no, you're good, man. I wonder what you probably know all that stats. What do you think the average days on market for 1 to 2 million in this area is right now?
I think it's about 45. I don't have all those stats memorized, but I think it's about 45. But I mean, I'm coming off a long streak where I think it was over 4 years where every one of my projects sold in 3 days or less.
Holy crap! Even last year, the year before.
That streak broke. I mean, you were talking to deals that lose money, and I think that streak broke in late 2023. Interest rates spiked up over 8% briefly,
Yeah.
and I had trouble selling a house that, I mean, it was priced very competitively, and all the buyers went inside and took shelter for 3 months, I think. So I mean, yeah, there have been a couple that sat for 40, 50 days in 23, 24, 25. So we're making some adjustments.
Well, you do awesome work, so I can see how you actually lasted that long. That's atypical. The market started going down June 2022. We started seeing pretty bad signs. So for you to go all the way to late 2023 with the volume of flips you do, I think is says a lot about who you are and the product you put out. So that's great.
Thanks.
So what are some of the biggest mistakes you have seen other flippers make? I know that I've walked numerous properties with you and you've opened my eyes to numerous things that I may or may not have considered. But just in general, I think, a lot of flippers are kind of hesitant right now. There's a lot that I've talked to that have lost money. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see that they're making right now that they need to fix?
There's a million ways to do this wrong.
Yeah.
One of the most obvious ones, I think, is not pulling permits. And I mean, I'll admit I'm guilty of this myself. Sometimes I don't pull a permit, but I mean, that's when we're just, take it out, put it back in like it was, like for like replacement. And there's some gray areas, but mostly you can do that just fine. But I've bought, at least 3 properties that had a red tag from a city for working without a permit, where they were doing outrageous things like digging out a basement or
Crazy. And you bought those from the flippers that were in trouble?
I have bought, I'd have to think about it for a minute, but at least 3 people had torn out walls, taken things all the way down to the studs. There's some pretty ambitious projects where people didn't pull permits and then got the red tag from the city. And then, I don't know these people. I don't know what happened, but I can look at property records and look at what work they did do. And it's pretty clear that they all lost 6 figures or more on their investment. I don't know why they didn't just go get the permits and finish their projects, but those are really good ones. If you're out there looking for projects, like, find something that's been red tagged. They need a way out.
Oh, it's tough. I've been involved in a couple of properties that I've had to deal with that, unfortunately, and the hoops are ridiculous. And the lesson is exactly what you said. Just pull the permit. It's going to take a little longer. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. But as soon as you get red tagged, that's like the kiss of death, especially right now.
Can be excruciating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what advice would you give to somebody that is thinking about flipping their first property?
Don't do it.
Really? Don't do it?
Think carefully before you do it.
Okay.
Imagine, I've got little kids, a lot of people do. Imagine like a 1-year-old unsteady on their feet. They can take careful, small steps and walk across the room and they'll be all right. But if they try to run, they're going to fall down.
Yeah.
If you can get on Google, there's an image, and it's called the deal triangle. And you need like a property, you need money, and then you need somebody to do the project. And that property also needs to be at a viable price. I should definitely point that out.
Yeah.
You need to identify which of those things you're bringing to the deal. And if you think you are going to be all 3, probably not a good idea to do on your first deal, or even your second, third, or fourth.
That's like you. That's what you do.
That's what I do. Well, but I mean, I don't bring all the money.
I guess
This
that's true.
is, yeah, there's a lot of debt involved. That's where the risk comes in.
Yeah.
You got to pay the interest on that debt.
Yeah.
Rain, shine.
If the home doesn't sell.
Sale, no sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, those holding costs will eat. But anyway, you should figure out whether you are going to be bringing time and labor, whether you're going to be bringing a big pile of cash, or whether you are going to be providing a property at a good price. Find which of those things you're doing, and then find someone experienced to provide the other ones, and expect those people to walk you through it, show you all the numbers, and they will know where some of the pitfalls are and hopefully educate you along the way. But don't try to do the whole thing all in one shot, because people can and do lose six figures.
I think in this industry, it's really important to have a coach or a mentor as you get started, especially in flipping, and especially in this current type of market. So both of us are great at that. So if you guys ever need anything at all, questions, whatever, both of us are open for it. But Thomas Burney, I really appreciate your time. Beautiful flip. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Hey, good to see you.